Okay, I think we are good now. So, this gut is about 25% of the way through being cured. And there's rabbit pelts here too. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do anything with him this early game, but I'll try to hang on to him for a bit if I can. And hopefully now we can finish exploring the rest of the town, and then I'll move on to the quest of filling up the firebox, or the box full of firewood. We are under the weight limit for just a little bit right now. Let's see how that is in about 5 minutes. I've got my clothes pretty much fully repaired, so they should be in pretty decent condition to keep me warm now. You're going to notice a lot of these houses are the same. Ooh, is that moldy rabbit? Oh, my favorite. And it's cooked, too. I don't even have to worry about killing myself unless, the mold kills me. But that's a different problem. See, it looks like we can bring up trust by giving her items. I think one of those is like a cured rabbit pelt or something like that, which I think we're actually going to be getting, so we might use it for that if I can't find a workbench to actually make something with it. I don't know if they're going to give me one to actually use this soon in the game. Okay, I think we're done down here. Yeah, I'm kind of feeling that these places were ransacked. Like they look ransacked. Someone came through and tried to take stuff, but they left behind soda. So they're not a very good ransacker. Maybe they took all the money. Maybe that's why all the safety deposit boxes were open. The bank manager guy took all the money he could that he had the keys for, and then just bolted. Maybe that's the story we're going to find. Oh, there's a wolf over there. And we really do not want to mess with that right now. I'm close enough to a house that I could reasonably get away, but this is just not something fun to mess with. The wolves don't really chase after you too much at first. We've already been in here. Wait, did we go in the house next door? I thought it was the house next door we already went in. Maybe we went in both. Yeah, this was bank manager's house. It had the Canadian flag on it. Okay.
Something's gotta go.
That's the wolf. I don't even know if I can go in any of these other houses. I might have explored all the ones I can. Yeah. Kind of feeling that way. That one at the end is boarded up. Okay. We can at least open that one safety deposit box. That might even be a thing. I didn't go down this way yet. That might even be a thing where you can we find more keys later and we can come back. Yes, your important newspapers you need to keep under lock and key. Hopefully the people of the town will understand me rooting through everything they own. I think they would. I mean, I think most reasonable people would understand that their houses are kind of in ruins right now. And anything I can get from them to keep me from dying might be a good thing. I don't know. Depends on who you're talking to. Gonna be some angry people later and they find out that I stole their dog food. You did what with my dog food? I ate it. It wasn't bad.
Is it food or...
That was some torch fuel we picked up. It is kind of dark in this house. So here's one big thing we could break down. We could break this down, we'd get wood, cloth, and tinder plugs. That does take a while, but it's not a bad option if you're stuck inside somewhere because of some bad weather. Trying to escape a wolf or trying to, you know, recover in a house. We could start a fire there. Shoes are a good source of leather. Which, of course, you need to repair shoes, but they're a pretty good source to get them from, too. They're useful for a couple different things, if I remember right, but mostly shoe repair, I remember, is where a lot of your leather goes.
I could use this.
Ooh, scarf. That might be an accessory, I think. No, that is a head item. Not as good as that hat. What about this hat? No, it's just a piece of crap. Designed more for looks than utility. To keep the wind off your neck, but it's not going to actually really warm you up. Or keep the heat from your head leaving. Alright, let's open for another key. But I don't see anything like that around. I think our exploration for today is nearly over. Because we can't go there. I've just been drinking these for the calories, really. I don't know if I'd say I'm, like, really good at this game. I did attempt to play through the Stalker difficulty. That used to be the hardest difficulty, and then they added a new, harder difficulty. And I was pretty decent at the Stalker difficulty. You start off with kind of worser equipment, and I think you find less of things generally. So you have to be better at surviving with, like, the tools you have. And then they introduced a difficulty called Interloper, with the description of it more or less being that the world itself is out to get you. It's extremely difficult. You start with almost no equipment. Your clothes are like pieces of crap. They're really bad. You can't find anything. The worst part is, like, you're just hoping to get lucky and find, you know, a somewhat decent set of clothing or like a tool or something so that you can survive just a little bit. And you can't. What's our temperature like? Yeah, we're not getting cold. These are good clothes. So yeah, I tried Interloper a bit, and I just could not, like, I could not get any success with it. I'm tempted to start a fire to keep any wolves at bay. Maybe if we're lucky the wolf won't bother with us. Let's collect all the cattails first, then I'll go for the deer. And then I'll be really heavy and not be able to walk home while the wolf slowly chases me down. Oh god, I thought that was a wolf. That rabbit scared the crap out of me. So I don't know if we'll get into it in single player. I imagine they're going to have us get into it, but there's kind of later game mechanics where you can take, I think I might have mentioned this, but you can take the hides of the animals that you kill and the guts and stuff, and you can use it in conjunction with other materials to make like clothing and items. I don't want to spoil too much, but I'll give you some of the more obvious ones. You can use like the hides to make shoes or mittens, you know, clothing items. You get options to make some better gear as well with some more dangerous creatures. Basically the ones that try to kill you instead of you killing them. There's a house up there too. We'll have to investigate that. Okay, yeah, we're gonna go for the deer now. But yeah, it's pretty interesting. You know, if I did set up a fire next to it though, it would take less time to carve. You know what? Let's do it. I think we have plenty. Am I getting... Oh, I'm getting wet because it's lightly snowing. And here's the other thing, right? If it starts getting really windy, this fire is going to go out. But you know what? Let's burn some cash. Now let's burn some cash in a book. Wood matches, 95% chance. That'll work. The thing is if you kill a deer, it's going to start out warm. You get faster cutting times through it. When it's frozen, it takes longer. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, you can actually, if you don't have any tools, if the deer's still warm, like you have a fire next to it, or it's still warm and it hasn't frozen yet, I think you can do it without tools if you have to. I'm not sure on that, but I think you can, at least maybe the meat. Okay, let's... These books are heavy. Let's just throw them in. Okay, that's 2 hours. Let's get maybe 2.5. Now, if it gets really, really windy, that fire is going to go out. That's 2 hours, 55 minutes. There we go. As long as it doesn't, though, we'll be okay. Although we are going to get thirsty, I just realized. Ugh. Okay, we're not dead yet. Let's take a drink of something. Soda flavored. I think tomato soup gives you water too. Depending on what you eat, you can get or lose water, as you'd likely imagine. And this will help us lower our weight slightly by doing this. Alright. It's a good haul. I'll make sure to cook all that tonight. that a wolf? Okay. It's okay, we're okay. The rabbit sacrificed itself for the good of us. Dang it. We're gonna go explore this house. And I think that's it, unless I just see any other houses kind of lying in the distance that we need to explore too. If it's got a fireplace, well, no, actually, I hate burning fuel, especially considering there is free fire in the other place. If we can, I'd totally like to go back to the other place. Especially considering they're asking for all this fuel, we shouldn't really be wasting it if we can. You know, if we can help it. Alright. It's a small house. Are you gonna have a key in you?
This'll keep the lamp burning.
Some lantern fuel for a lantern we don't have. I did notice the recipe for making the torches now requires lantern fuel. That's a new one. I don't think that was like that before. There's a bed. We could stay the night here. There is no ability to make fire inside.
Feels like a lot of gear.
Hoodie. Is that hoodie any good? It's not as good as Will's sweater. Is it better than Will's shirt? It's got a lower, I guess, water? I'm not sure what that is exactly, but it does have higher stats than pretty much everything else. We're going to switch it out for that. Kind of that passes for high fashion with game developers these days. Oh, look at these guys. They know the audience. Okay. I think we're good on pretty much everything. Yeah. Alright. Let's get out of here. Let's go to the bank. See if I can open that safety deposit box. See if there's anything cool in it. Steer clear of any wolves. I do have a lot of meat on me, so I kind of wonder. There's a scent system in the game now, so I'm kind of wondering if I'm going to be subject to getting wolves coming after me because I have so much raw meat on me. Can't run. I could potentially like stun or at least, you know, kind of keep a wolf back by throwing rocks at him. But a better option would be if there's a building close enough to inch our way over there and see if we can just avoid the confrontation altogether. I've said this on some of my other videos, but I feel I'll say it here. I'm having a friend coming over in about a day or two, and they're going to be over for about a week, maybe a little bit longer. Just depends. So I am going to try, I think it's 7? Yeah. I am going to try to do these videos as I can.
Hope nobody needs this anymore.
Flare shell, that's a good one. 2 flare shells. But just keep in mind if it's very slow for a few days, you should know why now. Combat boots. Resistance to animal bites, but not made for winter, so I have a feeling that one's going to provide better defense, but less, like, warmth. Less wind chill kind of stuff. I'll take a look at them when I get back over here really quick. Yeah, you can see I am very smelly right now. Well, you know those animals, they all love me. I didn't check all the mailboxes, I kind of forgot to. I wonder if there might be a key in one of the mailboxes somewhere. Okay. You want cash? You got cash. Does that count? It counts for a little bit. Does wood matches count? I don't think so. Give me that back. But I think... Does tinder count? 18.3, I don't think it does. No, it does. Well, you've got a lot of tinder. So I'm totally just going to fill that box up with tinder and not wood. I've got a lot of tinder plugs inside. Alright, give me another little bit. We'll get this situated. I don't know how much longer we're going to be doing today. We might be wrapping it up before long, but we'll see. I don't have any idea how long I've been doing this for either. That's the other thing. Alright, so like I suspected, it does give you a good bit more defense. I think Will's boots give you 5. These ones give you 10, so it's a bit better. You do get... You're slower, though. I mean, it's got lower stats. Now, upgrading it, I'm not exactly sure. Repairing it would get us close-ish to similar stats, but they also are pretty heavy, so I'm probably just going to not end up using them and breaking down all these other shoes. Alright, welcome back to morning. I've done a decent job of breaking down stuff, but I'm kind of getting to the point where I have more things than I know what to do with. But we did discover yesterday that apparently I think like tinder plugs and newspapers and stuff counts towards the quota here. So I'm just going to shove a whole load of like that kind of stuff in here. Doesn't count for a lot. Thought I heard a wolf. So we need some more. I think the tinder plugs counted. I don't think they count for a lot, but I think they counted. Luckily, I have a whole pile of tinder plugs and stacks of paper here. So this should be enough. And books. Basically big heavy things I don't really want to be carrying around with me. And some socks apparently. Let's see if that's enough. I spend a lot of time in this game running around overburdened. I feel like a lot of people do. The only way to avoid that is to have some sort of home base where you keep most of everything you have. I don't know if that counts. That's okay, I don't want all that anyway. Alright, we're full. So yeah, you should have plenty of food now. Or plenty of wood now. I am carrying like 100 pounds of equipment, good god. Let's drop most of that. We can drop some rocks. This is the problem you start running into is you have all these really great materials and you can't hold on to any of them because they all are heavy. And a lot of this is food, so hopefully as we keep going I'll end up eating through a bunch of this stuff. Okay, we're barely within weight now. Story. Others. Okay, I think we already read that one. Fuel. Okay, already did that. I think finished is what we need. But we can build trust if I give you things. So fresh eye mushrooms, bandages, fresh rabbit pelt, or cured rabbit pelt. So I don't even have to wait for these things to cure. I just give them to you and then we are very trusting. I see. Pilot like you's probably lived a pretty comfortable life. I mean, no better than most people, no worse. Out here, people understand the value of hard work, good tools, and working with their hands. I can handle myself. We'll see. They say the most important tool out here is a good hatchet or knife. But keeping them sharp is the secret. I'll keep that in mind. I mean, that was helpful, but can you give me something to sharpen them? Supplies. Milton. I guess this is sort of like, here's tutorial information for you if you don't know about the game. Milton seems very remote. What do you do in medical emergencies? We die. We do what we always do. We take care of our own. Well, what about outsiders? I can see you'll need help. I've heard gossip that Miller's kept some kind of supply kit hidden in their back garden. Goods they smuggled in from the mainland and didn't want anyone to know about. If you can find them, you should take them. You'll need them. Okay, I don't think I found that. We'll have to look in people's backyards, I guess. Milton history. I'm curious about what happened here. To understand Milton, you have to understand the collapse. You have to understand the event. That's all we speak of it as, the event. I mean, I know about the quakes. We experienced them too on the mainland. Not like this, you didn't. You mentioned the collapse a couple times. I know it's been rough, but you can't imagine it, mainlander. We were already on our knees. I'd like to understand how it affected Milton and the other areas more. I had no idea. Exactly. Let me tell you how it was. Okay. So I think if we give more things, we can get more story, but we're going to say finished. Oh. I mean finished with your thing. Is it the house thing? I got you your firewood. I finished. What do you want? Journal updated missions. I did. I stocked it with fuel. I don't know what you want. Protection. There are a lot of wolves around. Watch out. People say they can smell your fear. Think I could borrow that rifle of yours? You'll leave an old lady defenseless so you could protect yourself. Shame on you, Mackenzie. Of course not. But it would be nice to have a bit more protection out there. Surely someone else in this town must have owned a gun of some kind. Old Henry McDermott used to be with the Coast Guard. He kept a distress pistol around just in case. To call for help? Right. Henry was always worried about kids getting their hands on it, so it won't be easy to find. Thanks. That was helpful, I guess. I don't know what you want. I did your quest. I gave you like 1,000,000 pieces of paper that you can probably burn. It's a lot of water. I don't know what you want. I filled your box to 30. It's mostly full of like paper, but is that not what you wanted? Or of course, maybe the game is expecting me... Oh. Okay, that's actually kind of useful. The game's expecting me to go up here, I think.